get this started. How's it going? Got 2 more drinks to try, but before I do that, I need to get everything running. Switch to the face cam. There we go. How's it going? Just making sure everything is working before it gets started. Got 2 different drinks to try out today. Yeah, it looks like it's working. Cool. So this is a live stream. I'll respond to any messages that I see related to what I'm doing at the moment, which is basically reviewing these drinks. So if it's unrelated to whatever I'm doing, I won't respond until I'm done with the little presentation of sorts. But if you're asking a question about the drink or anything, we should be good. I'll hopefully see it and respond. So we've got Tribute, Rip It, and Tribute Energy. And then we have vitamin water, zero sugar, pineapple passion fruit. I'll try these out. I'll start with the energy drink. There it is. It's very America branded. This one's been sitting in my fridge for a long time. But yeah, it's called Rip It Energy Tribute Cherry Lime. And then clearly it's got a very specific branding to it. It's even got a red tab on the top. Yeah, let's go over the ingredients and stuff. Contains no fruit juice. Nutrition facts, we've got 200 calories, so this is not a calorie-free drink by any means. But America, you know, we got our big calories. 200 calories, 150 milligrams of sodium, which is 7% of your daily value. We've got total carbohydrates, 52 grams, total sugars, 49 grams. And then, just checking my chat windows. 0 grams of protein. 49 total sugars. 49 grams of total sugars. I don't know if I said that. Potassium, 20 milligrams. Vitamin C, 144 milligrams. B6, 4 milligrams. And B12, 20 mcg. And then for the ingredients, we've got carbonated water, high fructose corn syrup, taurine, citric acid, sodium citrate, vitamin C, ascorbic acid, sodium benzoate, which is a preservative, inositol. I really don't know what that is. inositol. Let's see. Caffeine, potassium sorbate, preservative, maltodextrin, natural and artificial flavors, red 40, so it's got a color in here as well. Calcium disodium EDTA, salt sucralose, which is a sugar alternative. So it's got the high fructose corn syrup and sucralose inside. Guarana seed extract, vitamins B6, B12, and yeah, that's it. So quite the ingredients list. Very manufactured drink. I'm going to show it all on screen for you. There's the intense America branding. Naturally and artificially flavored energy drink. Oh yeah. 16 fluid ounce, 473 milliliters on that. We've got our nutrition facts. It's a little hard to show on camera. Come on, camera, focus, please. There we go. Kind of hit the light just right, and it's readable, but the silver on red background doesn't really work too well for being on camera. Needless to say, it's got a lot of not ideal ingredients. We've got the high fructose corn syrup instead of regular sugar. We've got some sucralose, which again, do your own research and understand what sucralose is. It's a sugar alternative. It's supposed to be, low calorie alternative. And then we've got the red 40 coloring in here. So that's not a natural coloring. It's a, I don't know what they call those. Food dye, something like that. Yeah, quite a bit going on. Anyways, I think that covers the can. We're going to open this up and try it out. America in a cup, or it'll be in a cup, but America in a can. We got our food dyes, we got our fructose corn syrup. Oh yeah. There's the good old red 40. It's obviously carbonated. Got that red 40 in there. Yeah. Do a smell test, see what it smells like. Again, this is supposed to be cherry limeade. Yeah, no, cherry lime flavor. Yeah, smells like, artificial cherry smell. I don't know if I smell the lime, but it does have a cherry smell to it. Let's try this out. It lost quite a bit of carbonation pouring it into the cup. Let me try it from the can real quick. See if it's any different. It doesn't have a ton of carbonation in general, but if you want to keep the carbonation, just drink it from the can instead of using a glass. Flavor-wise, we've got a bit of sourness, tartness, which is good. Let's see, it's got, that classic cherry lime flavor profile. Tastes pretty decent flavor-wise. I think it would be nice with ice or something. It's got enough flavor that I think it would be fine adding some ice to it. The sugar or whatever's going on adds kind of like a dryness to my mouth and a slickness. I don't know how to explain that, but maybe it's just the high fructose corn syrup type drink. I haven't had those in a while. This does have a fair amount of sodium in it. 150 milligrams, 7% of your daily value of sodium. So yeah, maybe the salt is contributing to the dry mouth type feel that I'm getting. Overall, I think it tastes pretty decent. Obviously, the 200 calories, it's definitely not a low calorie drink. I believe it's got, see if it has it on the label here. 160 milligrams of caffeine per can. So it's on the slightly, well, I'd say it's mid-range on caffeine, 160 milligrams. You know, if you get a Red Bull or something, it's obviously a smaller can, but those will be like 80 grams or 112 grams or something like that, milligrams. Yeah. So 160 milligrams versus 80 milligrams for a cup of coffee or something. But obviously those are smaller. So like the per volume caffeine amount of this is kind of mid-range, I'd say. And maybe slightly on the lower end, but the total amount, 160, is a little bit more than a cup of coffee or two, like almost 2 cups of coffee. And then you've got the more intense, crazy energy drinks that hit like 300 milligrams of caffeine for a can this size. So comparatively to those, this one's got quite a bit less caffeine. It does have the taurine as well, which isn't really, it's not as far as I understand it, it's not like caffeine, but they add it to energy drinks. It's a common component for energy drinks is that taurine. Yeah. And like I said, it's got some of those vitamins and such. The potassium, a little bit, it's only 20 milligrams. Vitamin C, 144 milligrams, B6 and B12. So even then, it's just got a few less of vitamins and stuff than some other brands of, energy drink focused things. Overall, I think it's pretty decent taste wise. I'm not a fan of the Red 40 and the sucralose and the high fructose corn syrup, but it's a classic, highly manufactured drink. So if you're okay with that and you like cherry lime flavored stuff, it might be an interesting one to try at the very least. Yeah. All right. I'm going to swap out. I need to clean my cup out a little bit after the Red 40. I don't know if that's going to work. So again, that was the Rip It. I'm thinking of Beyblade. Let it rip. Anyways, Rip It Energy Tribute Cherry Lime. Next one up, we've got another vitamin water. I didn't realize that Tribute thing had so much sodium in it. I probably would not have picked this thing to go along with it because I think this is kind of high sodium as well. Let's see. Yeah. It got even more. Okay. It's going to be very salty today. Next up, vitamin water, pineapple passion fruit, 0 sugar, rehydrate. And then this one is called a nutrient enhanced water beverage. 20. That's a very specific name. 20 fluid ounce, 591 milliliters. And then for the nutrition facts, we've got 5 calories, which clearly this is much less calorie-wise. Carbonation is coming back to me from the other drink. 0 grams of total fat. This one has 240 milligrams of sodium in it. That's 10% of your daily value in sodium, according to them. 0 total carbohydrates, 0 total sugars, 0 grams of protein. And for the vitamins, we've got 60 milligrams of potassium, 25% of vitamin E, 100% of B6, 100% of pantothenic acid, 100% of vitamin C, 100% of niacin, Niacin, 100% of B12, and 2% of magnesium. So this specific vitamin waters don't tend to give you like actual milligram amounts, but for some reason they did it for the potassium, which is 60 milligrams, 2%. And then for our ingredients, we've got reverse osmosis water, which is a filtering method for water, reverse osmosis. And it says less than 0.5% of electrolytes, which is sodium citrate, potassium phosphate, calcium, and magnesium lacetates. Citric acid, which contributes to the flavor and the sourness, but also sometimes it's used as like a stabilizer, shelf-stable ingredient. And then we've got the vitamins, which is a big list of very difficult to pronounce words. Natural flavors, stevia leaf extract, monk fruit extract, and beta carotene for color. So stevia and monk fruit are sugar alternatives. These are the sweeteners for this drink. Do your own research, of course, but stevia and monk fruit are supposed to be, or claim to be, the healthy alternatives to all of the other ones. But yeah, do your own research on that. So that's the ingredients. I'm going to show these on screen so you can see for yourself. Oh, of course, they've got their vitamin water likes doing very unusual branding sometimes. So it says, with electrolytes for when work feels more like a workout. Good job. This one's not as crazy as some of their little statements on the bottle. Again, this is the zero sugar pineapple passion fruit. And there's the quantity with their nutrient enhanced water beverage. 5 calories, 240 milligrams of sodium. Like I said, I'm going to be very salty today. We've got the potassium, 60 milligrams. This bottle is so much easier to show on the camera than the Tribute Energy one. Very readable. There's all those ingredients. A lot going on. Oh, I forgot to mention the beta carotene, which probably comes from carrots or something. That's probably a better option than the red 40 from the other drink. Yeah, very nice. They tend to have pretty good ingredients and stuff, in my opinion, for this company and this drink. Very nice. There we go. I think I was fully zoomed out. Trying to be consistent with my framing of stuff. All right, let's open this up. Always, some of the stuff tends to stay on the cap. Anyways. So that's the beta carotene for color. It is very intense looking. Especially with this light. I have a large light over here. And a few other lights. There's a top-down light. Then there's a light over there. 2 lights over there. A lot of lighting. Yeah. Does it look appetizing to you all? It's very yellow. Looks decent to me. But I mean, almost in a way like orange juice, but more yellow. All right, let's try this out. Again, this is the vitamin water pineapple passion fruit zero sugar rehydrate. Oh, that's interesting. I'm just using my right hand. See, there we go. I think that the sweeteners work pretty well with this specific combination of flavors because stevia and monk fruit have a very specific aftertaste and just flavor in general. They don't taste like table sugar. They add the sweetness to the drink, but they have, I don't know how to describe it, a very specific taste. But I think it works with this combination of flavors. So the pineapple, any type of tropical type fruit, if that's the word to use, passion fruit. I don't know if I've eaten one of those like as a thing, as a fruit, but I would imagine it's got kind of like a quote unquote tropical taste to it. Same thing with the pineapple. I think that works with stevia and monk fruit, especially as a sweetener. So I think this combination for the zero sugar ones they've got, I think it works well. Yeah. So if you like the flavor of that kind of tropically pineapple flavor, and then, like I said, I don't really know what passion fruit is supposed to taste like, but is based on my personal preferences, which, with flavors of things, it's going to be so personal if you like it or not. But to me, I think this is a good mix of flavoring with the specific sweeteners that it has in it. Yeah. I recently had, I think it was a zero sugar strawberry lemonade or something. Comparatively, this one tastes so much better, and I think it works a lot better than that strawberry lemonade one. Yeah. And it was zero sugar vitamin water. But I think this combo works a lot better with the flavoring. And then there is a lot of salt in here, which is kind of a downside in a way, but maybe it's contributing to the flavor in a sense, because usually salt enhances flavors and things, right? I think. So maybe it kind of adds in a way to the drink to make it more flavorful. But I mean, when you're drinking it, I don't really notice the saltiness, which it's a isn't necessarily, if I can speak words, like table salt. It's they call it electrolytes: sodium citrate, potassium phosphate, calcium, and magnesium lacetates, which whatever that means in reality. I'm not a food scientist, so yeah. But I feel like for some type of, maybe you would use this after a workout or while working out or something, considering it's supposed to rehydrate. I think it's a pretty nice option. I like the flavor of it. It's low calorie. It tastes good. Yeah. Overall, I think this is a really nice one. I'm definitely going to consider getting this again, just as a thing not to review, but to drink. I like it. That's the vitamin water, zero sugar, pineapple, passion fruit, rehydrate. Very nice. Good flavor to it, in my opinion. I think it works well. All right. That is it for me today with the drinks. I do have, well, this, but I don't know if I want to bother reviewing this unless anyone is interested, because I don't have the box with me. Does it have the? It has nutrition facts on here. I'd have to link it. Yeah, I could. Let's see if I can add it to the list here. So this is called Nature Valley Crunch. Let's see. This is the oats and honey one. The granola bar. CRU. Let's see if I find if they sell it on here. Yeah. So there's various box sizes. There's 60 bars to 48. I guess I could add those. There's like a double box, 120. That's a lot. But yeah, that works. All right. I added them to the list. I'm gonna have to get a plate real quick. There we go. There it is. There's a little bonus item. So this is the Nature Valley Crunch. I like this if I can use words. I like not necessarily the company, but the specific one, and then there's like a chocolate focused one, which are pretty nice. It's a standard granola bar, but there's two of them in here. Let's go over the specifics. So it says 22 grams of whole grain. And these are called granola bars, specifically with crunch in the branding. All right. We've got nutrition facts. It says 2 bars, 42 grams, 190 calories for the 2 bars, which, is quite a bit. 190 calories. 7 grams of total fat, 1 gram of saturated fat, cholesterol 0 milligrams, 140 milligrams of sodium. Again, I'm going to be very salty today with these 2 drinks and this granola bar thing. 29 grams of total carbohydrates, 2 grams of dietary fiber, 11 grams of total sugars, and then 3 grams of protein. Does have 6% of your daily value of iron, apparently. And then it says not a significant source of vitamin D, calcium, or potassium. And yeah, 22 grams of whole grain per serving. And we've got our ingredients, which is whole grain oats, sugar, canola and or sunflower oil, rice flour, honey, salt, brown sugar, syrup, baking soda, and soy, lecithin, and natural flavor. So it says contains soy, may contain peanut, almond, and pecan ingredients. So that's a thing to keep in mind. I'll show it on screen here. But if you are sensitive or allergic to either peanuts, almonds, or pecans, this is not going to be your food, sadly. I did see this brand sells one of them that is made in a facility that does not process peanuts, so you could look for that. And it says contains bioengineered food ingredients. All right. Here's the ingredient list. So it does have actual honey in here. That's cool. And we can show the nutrition facts. 190 calories. I could do a zoom in here. Yep. So I think I'm good on that. Again, this is the Nature Valley Crunch oats and honey. And it's at least consistent with honey on the label and actually in the ingredients, which is nice to see. Oh, and the net weight, 1.49 ounce, 42 grams. The two different bars in here. Cool. Let's pop this open. Whoops. There we go. This could be a little messy. I'll try to... Oop, I already... Try to do this in a less messy way. So that's what it looks like. It's nothing exciting to look at, right? I'll do a zoom in. But at least in my opinion, I feel like they are pretty good flavor-wise and everything. Yeah. Let's do the side profile. So these are pretty hard. They're not a soft type of granola bar. I'll snap it in half in a second here. You can see the crunchiness to them. But I'll have to do a zoom out. See if I can do it with one hand. Yeah. So definitely, if you want to be not messy, this is going to be one where you'll probably want a bowl or something, just in case, because they are somewhat dry and crunchy, but they're not like super hard usually, unless they're old. But yeah, let's try this out. This one was pretty soft for this type of granola bar. I think it's relatively simple in this case with the oats and honey. Really good flavor profile. Basically what you would expect of that ingredient list. You got a little bit of sweetness coming through with the, let's see. Yeah, of course the honey, it has sugar up towards the top of the ingredient list, and then canola and or sunflower oil, rice flour, brown sugar. So, yeah, it says brown sugar syrup. Okay. So I think it's got a pretty reasonable ingredient list. Pretty crunchy for what it is. This specific one was not super hard, which is nice to see. I like the flavor profile. They're simple. I think they're very nice tasting little granola bar. Anyways, I think that is good for that. Kind of messy, obviously. And they're not the chewy type of granola bars. So if you're okay with this style of granola bar, I think this is a nice option in that. But yeah, very messy. All right, that was a little bonus item. Anyways, I'm going to head out, hopefully. Oh, thanks for the follow, Kiki. Just saw that. Yeah. The call sign I go for with this type of food review stuff is Scotty Joe Food Reviews, but I do stuff on cameras. Like I just did a really long live stream on this orange camera back here that a company sent me. Things like that. Things like electronics and stuff too when I'm able to do that. But yeah, see ya. There we go.